Hey guys, this is me, Troy Dellinger. Just a short little video for Labor Day. Um, just make sure that, don't be lazy. Get out there and work. First of all, do works for God. Don't do these vain works where you're just working but not doing anything for God. Do works for God. Do the will of God. Get busy for God. And also get a job. Take care of your family. The Bible says, if you don't take care of your family, you're worse than an infidel. Don't be lazy. Don't be in poverty where you're just not taking care of your family. Um, I mean, there are situations where saints do go into poverty in certain situations. We know that by the apostles, obviously. But if you have a family, you got to be taking care of your family, and you need to have a job, and and the Bible does say we need to work, and the Bible says laziness is a sin. The Bible says that if you're slothful, that's a sin. Um, and I just wanted to talk about what I think is a beneficial work environment that might help out. Um, I think that it's important to hire somebody for the wages that they work. If they work hard, then, they deserve their wages. We know that from the story of Jacob. When he was working, and they try to change his wages, but the Bible says to give your servants that's what's just and equal. To be a good boss to employees and to team members, because you need to appreciate them because they're the ones that are doing work for you. Um, there's a couple pitfalls you got to avoid. Toxic work environments, which involve laziness, which involves taking advantage of people. Which involves um, overworking people or having to clean up slack. Those are toxic work environments. Um, Complainers or people that try to cause trouble. You want to avoid the toxic work environment, or lazy people, other people not doing their job. They put it on you, and you have to clean up that slack. You got to avoid toxic management. Um, like for example, like there's people. If you have an abusive boss, it's really not good to be in that type of environment. Um, examples of toxic management is putting the false blame on you, or overworking you, or abuse, or micromanagement, just getting always in the way of things, micromanaging the little things, but ignoring the big things. Another thing that I really think that would be beneficial for a successful work environment is not to be overworked, but putting all this time when you spending tons and tons of time at work. Um, Sometimes that's a good thing, but when it's all the time and you're never at home or with your family, or you're worst of all, you're neglecting your own personal relationship with God because you're focused on all these worldly things with money and work and all that, and it's all just work, work, work. Then obviously work is becoming an idol. Workaholics is an addiction, and there's people that are lazy, but there's also people that are overworking themselves, and that's another pitfall you don't want to fall into. And I would say that's also another sin, because you're making work into an idol. You're making money an idol. Because everything is all about money. Because some people work 7 days a week, never take a day off of work because money is their idol. But the Bible says you got to take a day off. You got to take a day of rest and a Sabbath. The Bible says work 6 days a week and take one day off a week. Okay, I'm not talking about Sabbath keeping or Saturday Sabbath keeping, but what I'm saying is that the Bible does say we need to rest one day a week. We also know from the book of Exodus that there is taskmasters, people that put a bunch of tasks on you, a bunch of burdens, but don't ever give anybody a break. Those are called taskmasters in the Bible that we find in Egypt. That's another pitfall. Okay. But another thing that's really important is to honor those in authority, to honor your bosses, obey them, submit to them, and that's why the Bible says, "Servants, obey your masters." Okay. The Bible says don't answer back. The Bible says don't argue with them. Just do what they say. Even those that are uh, hard to work with or the forward, the Bible says honor them, submit to them, and don't talk back. Okay. So these are just a couple guidelines for a good work environment centered on Christ, and I hope that's helpful to you.